Hey guys, today I'll be reviewing the Alfred Hitchcock classic, The Lady Vanishes. Actually, it was pretty bad, just to be honest. But let's talk about it anyways. First off, it starts out in the Jamaican Inn, and it just doesn't really make any sense. And they're just kind of there, and then she just magically goes on a train, and it just doesn't really make sense where the set is or what the theme of this is supposed to be. At first you're just like, oh, this is like following some random lady. And they spend like 30 minutes of it just setting up that she like loves this hotel thing and that she's running around and she hates this dude for making music upstairs. But I guess just getting to listen to the music, and he was on the train and helped her look for this. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, she falls in love with this dude and marries him, even though there's like no point for her to get married to this dude. Because he's just kind of like a dude that's just there. It doesn't really make any sense. Well, anyway, eventually they make it onto their train finally, and she meets this English lady that she thinks is really nice, but she's kind of weird. And then, like, she just, like, goes to sleep, and then she's gone. And everyone on the train's like, no, I don't remember her. And then it's like, okay. And then magically, she just, like, everyone remembers her again, and she was, like, held hostage by all these people are trying to hold her hostage and attack them. And then, like, this nun lady is just, like, holding her hostage. And then, all of a sudden, the nun's on their side again. And they're in, like, some random shootout. There's really no real tone to this movie. It's just kind of all happens. And it just feels like pointless different stories. And there's no real character development. It's just that the characters are kind of there. And eventually the characters just modify to the different characters for whatever tone they want to set the scene for. Well, the nun goes on to their side, because I guess she realizes what happened was wrong. And then all of a sudden, there's like a whole bunch of Nazi dudes that attack them. They look like Nazis. It's kind of weird. I don't quite get the tone of this movie. But anyways, the Nazi guys attack them, and then they beat up all the Nazi guys in like the most underwhelming shoot-out scene ever. And I guess this is a fairly old film. It's from 1938, but it just kind of doesn't really make sense. I didn't really feel that surprised like what was gonna happen, because for some reason there were like 5 Nazis that ran out of the car, and then he shoots down like 3 of them, and then there's like 1,000 more. It's just like they get shot and then they just stand up. It didn't really make any sense. So eventually they get the old lady, and they're like, you have to make a bum rush out of here. And then the old lady starts running, and then she gets like shot to death. And then we're like, okay, why'd they even try and save her? And then eventually they win, they go back, and then they just go to this office where the old lady's sitting. And it kind of looked like, since she, like, if you heard a bang and she, like, fell over into, like, this pit, it kind of seemed like she was dead. And for some reason, like, the old lady didn't even, like, try and go for help. She just kind of left him for dead, which I find is pretty funny. And then she just falls in a pit. So it doesn't really make sense. This movie kind of sucked, to be honest. I didn't like it. And to be honest, I don't know who would like this movie. And it's not just, like, a time thing. I just think it was terribly written. Alfred Hitchcock should be ashamed of this one, to be completely honest. And overall, I couldn't give this any more than a 4 out of 10, 4.5. This is like really bad filming. The budget was probably $100, which I guess is pretty good from the standards of the time. We just assumed that would be like $3,000 nowadays. But anyways, I guess this movie just kind of sucked. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. Oh wait, here's the exact budget. It probably says somewhere. Nope, it doesn't say on the Wikipedia page. I guess we just got to assume that Alfred Hitchcock didn't know what he was doing on this one and made a bad movie. Well, that's it for today, guys. And if you guys disagree, that's cool. I don't really care. That's all for today, guys. And I hope you enjoyed my review on this very terrible movie that other people are probably going to yell at me, those Hitchcock fans out there. He made better.